Yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's see, Nick, why don't you get us started with your number 10 point guard?
I would love to, Miles. Thank you very much. Um, at number 10, I have Dame. Damian Lillard is my number 10 guy. He made the cut over a few other guys I'll mention. Darius Garland was probably right on the cusp here. LaMelo and Ja were both left off my list as well. Um, the reason I picked Dame is because I do think he's a more electric, like dynamic player. I just think he's a better, more impactful player with the ball in his hands, and I'd rather have him than any of those other three guys on my team, including the Cavs. Um, but the reason I don't have him higher, even though he's had a Hall of Fame career and he's still an All Star level player, was last year, was that he didn't impact winning a whole lot. Like his team was 32-26 when he was on the floor. They were 16-8 without him.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, I have Dame one spot higher at number 9, but for similar reasons. I mean, in the regular season, his stats still looked really good. I mean, he averaged 25, 5, and 7, was an all-star. He still statistically was really good. But like you said, his impact on winning, like the Bucks got off to such a bad start this past season. Of course, they were playing some really, good teams during that stretch, but we never really saw the Bucks as a legit championship contender. Number 10 is where I have another injured guy, Kyrie Irving. Now, he probably won't miss the whole season, but just because Dame, basically the main reason I have Dame over Kyrie is because he did play more games. But, besides that, Kyrie had a fantastic season last year.
Ben, what do you think? What do you have at 10?
I have LaMelo Ball at 10. I put him at 10 because, I mean, I know he has been the most reliable recently. Last year he played some more games than the season before. It was like 47 games. But, I mean, when he is on the floor, well, he is really talented. I mean, it, it was hard not to include him on this list just because of when he's available, he's really talented. He can score the ball really well. I mean, when he played last year, he averaged 25.2 points. He can dish out assists. He averaged 7.4 assists. I don't think he really turns it over a ton, but the Hornets are a decent team and picks are winning a bit more, of course, when he's playing, when he's out there playing. He's their best player.
I agree with Ben. I also have LaMelo at 10.
Nice.
And pretty much for the same reason. When he's out there, he goes toe to toe with any other point guard on our list. Like he is that good when he plays. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't play all the time.
Nick, who did you have at number 9?
With number 9, I went with a guy who made his first All Star team last year. This is a guy who just keeps improving and getting better and better, and is honestly like has gotten to the point where I think he's better than I ever really anticipated, and that's Tyler Hero. I got Tyler Hero at number 9 from Miami.
Wow, definitely had a very good season. Spoiler, did not have him on my list, but he's definitely one of the guys that was in the pool to make it. First time All-Star. Very good season. And Nick, you're right. This turned out to be way better than I ever could have thought. I thought that his peak was a sharpshooter off the bench, but he's become, an all-star level point guard, for a solid Miami Heat team.
I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about him. Like I said, like he's become a different player than he was when he came to the league. He's really changed his game to fit Miami's needs, and he shoots it at nearly 40% on like 9 attempts a game from deep. He's one of the best high volume shooters in the league. So when you do all that, I think you make my top 10 list.
Yep.
At 9, I had Trae Young there. I have him because he, played great again last year. The Hawks, didn't have the best of years, of course, last year, but going into this next season, they're hopefully going to be pretty good, definitely competing more in the East. And Young, I mean, he definitely didn't have his best scoring season last year, but he scored the ball good. But what did impress me, of course, was he was still dishing out a lot of assists. He really did great of getting his teammates involved. And I think he's a good leader, better leader than LaMelo. Part of why I have him over LaMelo.
Yeah, hard to disagree. Joey, who do you have at 9?
Well, before I get to that, I will actually say I actually have Trae Young at 8 just because
I do as well. I do as well.
You as well? Wow, look at
Wow,
that.
I'm never the one to leave Trey off a list.
I was going to say, you've always been giving him credit. I'm surprised you left him off the list. No, my number 9 is my homer pick, Garland. And it is a lot of prediction just because he is still a fantastic point guard. He still plays, regardless of how we feel as fans about the 2 bigs and the 2 guards, dominant guards, like Garland and Mitchell have both been very, very productive, especially last season, playing almost a full season together. Oh, just a couple injuries here and there. But they played really well off of each other, and they can do it and have a lot of success.
Young. Nick, who do you have at number 8?
Tyrese Maxey.
Ooh, Tyrese Maxey, your boy. All right, talk to us about Tyrese Maxey.
My boy from last year, who I had ranked super high in the beginning of the season. Yeah. Definitely a difficult spot for Maxey last year in Philly, but he had a great year. He averaged 26, 6, and 3. There was a stretch of games in the middle of the year where he went off for 6 straight 30-point games, and when you do that at 24, it raises a lot of eyebrows. So,
Ben, who's your number 8?
I have Ja Morant there. This one, we're saying just kind of where I think he is now going into the next year. He didn't have the greatest of seasons last year, but still was pretty good. Played most games last year. And, when Ja Morant's really feeling it, he's really getting it going. He could be, pretty hard to stop.
I didn't have Ja Morant on my list. I also didn't have Tyrese Maxey on my list. Actually, I both. Joel, you did too. Okay, so I'm not crazy. I was worried you guys would all roast me.
Tyrese Maxey was number 11, though, I will say. Like, he was like
Garland was
right
11
there.
for me. Garland was 11 for me, yeah.
Dude, how it went for me, Garland was 11, Maxey was 12, Ja was 13. So those were all the complete borderline guys. My number 7 was Tyrese Halliburton, coming off of an incredible playoffs, the most clutch playoff run of all time. It was one of the most fun times I've had as a fan watching those plays that he was making for that Pacers team. And even stats don't even tell the full story. with just 18 points per game, because he's getting all of his guys involved, 9 assists per game. He's really efficient. And it just stinks that he had the injury in Game 7. He's now going to miss all of next year. But just, the ability to just turn up whenever your team needs to, no matter what, throughout a playoff run, was just absolutely incredible. So I think he deserves this number 7 spot.
Just a quick word on Hallie. I have written down next to his name, I only have him 1 spot higher at number 6.
I do as well.
So Kyrie is my number 7, but just a first.
Kyrie is also my number 7.
All right.
Ooh,
So
wow.
for Hallie, I have next to it, I wrote down he's changing the way the game is played. Like you said, the Pacers as a whole kind of are doing that along with the Thunder, but Hallie is like the engine of that team, and he's the one, like you said, Miles, getting everybody involved. So I think he's in my top 6 just for that reason alone. And other than that, he was a leader of the team who was one win away from being the champs. For Kyrie, I think I still have him above guys like Maxey, Hero, Dame, Garland, whoever, because he's still one of the most clutch players in the league. And he averages 25, 5, and 5 like it's nothing on very efficient shooting. He's you can bet on that. So.
No, 100%. Kyrie is that's exactly what I'm saying. He's still one of obviously he's outside of the top 5, but when you're talking pure talent and skill wise, he's top 5 still.
Yeah.
It's like you said, durability, stuff like that, things that come into play that put him outside. But with this team, if he comes back healthy at some point in time for the playoffs, if Dallas isn't within striking distance, they're going to be a very, very scary team. And he could really just complete that team when he comes back. But
Yeah.
agree with Halliburton with everything you said, just because I have him one spot higher. Like we were very critical of like him scoring and like when he disappears they don't win, but like that's how crazy his impact on winning is. That when he does just score even 15 to 20, changes the entire game. Because you already know he's getting like 10 plus assists. He's getting everybody involved. He's hustling, like he's diving on. He's doing everything he can. So and obviously the clutchness from that entire playoff run.
Back to the list, Ben. Who's your number 7?
My number 7 is James Harden. Last year, he was just, looking even more improved. Just somehow, I wasn't totally sure, neither like you guys. James Harden really get better. Kind of looked like the same he was in the 76ers. But, I mean, the start last year, without Kawhi, it's just awesome. I mean, his leadership was actually pretty good. That really impressed me. What helps with his ranking on here is that, he's become a better leader on the Clippers. I'd say he's a good leader with them now.
Yeah, I had Halliburton and Harden switched on my list. Halliburton 7, Harden at 6, because I completely agree. I think that Harden has become one of the top leaders in the game. I mean, what he was able to do to maximize that Clippers team last season was one of the more impressive things from last season. Now, of course, in the playoffs, we ended up getting typical James Harden, where the Clippers had a no-show in Game 7 against Denver. But for the regular season and getting the Clippers to that point where none of us had them, maybe one of us had them making the playoffs or the play-in, but to get them to tied for the 3rd seed in the West and taking the Nuggets to 7 with Kawhi out for half the season and getting guys like Norman Powell and Zubac to play at like elite role player status levels. So that's why I got Harden at my 6.
Mine is Cade Cunningham.
Okay, good.
Last year, man, I was just really impressed with how he, turned into a star last year. He averaged 26.1 points per game. That was pretty impressive. I guess, before last year, I wasn't totally expecting him to score that much, but he did. So, I mean, the scoring definitely improved. He had a nice amount of assists, too. He averaged 9 assists, is what I saw. That's pretty impressive. He did a great job of getting his teammates involved, too, and it was just really impressive, how he helped lead the Pistons, who, were just historically bad the previous year before last year, to then, just playing like a star and just getting them all the way to the playoffs somehow. He helped turn that around. Man, it's just so impressive with that. It was unbelievable just how he and the Pistons pulled that off.
Okay, so my number 5 was Cade Cunningham as well.
Quick word on Cade.
Yeah.
Joey, did you have my 5?
I did.
Okay, I have him at number 4. I think, speaking of guys that don't have anybody else to dribble the ball and have a ton of responsibility, like what he is doing is super underrated, which is why I had him at 4. One above Curry. I had Curry 5th. Cade 4th.
I had Curry at 4.
That was penciled in for me for a while, but right before we started recording, I switched them.
That was like almost my first decision. Like I said, our top 3 guys I think are all going to be the same.
Yeah.
And then my next decision was like, all right, Cade ahead of Curry, because I really do think what he's doing is underrated, and he's just going to have an incredible year, I think, probably this year.
At 23 years old, he was 7th in MVP. I didn't even realize that. The voting, I mean, he had a spectacular season, but I did have Curry ahead of him. Just to give him some respect, Curry is still someone that's incredible. And, I think he might be the best epitome, just at this point of his career, where the stats don't tell the full story with 24 points, 6 assists, but just because of the gravity that he has, because he is the greatest shooter of all time. But
it does almost feel weird to leave him off the top 3, but like you kind of have to. But like, he is still Curry. I am very interested to hear Ben's 5, though.
My 5 is actually Halliburton. He was, kind of tough to the beat, kind of tough to rank, but I was different somehow with you guys. I somehow had him over Kane, and part of that was just because, of how impressive, the Pacers' run was in the playoffs, and him just nailing, those huge game-winning shots, and yeah, I know he had some stinkers, but just, it was just so impressive how he led the Pacers through that, and seeing, playoff run and then into the finals.
I still think Cade is better than Halliburton because, I mean, although Halliburton did go deeper, I think Cade at this point of his career, I wouldn't say has mastered this skill, but he's gotten very good at balancing scoring versus passing and getting his teammates better. I feel like he's done a really good job with that. And Halliburton still has that, to improve his game. So for that, I still think Cade is a better player, but both are still really good. Bottom line is, even if Halliburton's the 5th best point guard or 7th like I had him or 6th like the other guys, he's not overrated, guys. He's not overrated. We all know how good that guy is. So yeah, I had Curry at 4. You guys had Cade at 4, and then Ben, would you have Curry at 4 as well?
4, just like you, Miles.
I also had Curry at 4. I had Cade at 5.
Oh, okay. Sweet. So, yes, Nick, like you said, we should all have the same top 3 point guards right here. So, number 3, I'll start. I've got
right?
I did mention him before. 3 is where I had Jalen Brunson.
Agreed.
Yep, same. I agree.
Wow. Okay. I was wondering if anyone would try to make a case that he was 2, but no. Brunson.
Come on.
I got a better case for him at 4 than I do for 2.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. But no, Brunson's just awesome. He's an awesome player. I mean, he's still one of my favorite guys to watch, and led the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. And
Brunson is. He always steps up for sure, like loves the moment, but he's one of a kind in the sense that, like, 2nd round pick, like, talk about a guy who you didn't expect to be here, and now he's a top 3 point guard in the league. But he's just like, there's nobody else in the league who's like him. There's nobody else. He's created his own style of play. Talk about another guy who's changing the way the game is being played. Like, Jalen Brunson is the epitome of that.
He reminds me a lot of almost kind of like a traditionalist point guard, at least what I grew up with. Like, a lot of guys are expanding their range, and Jalen Brunson can still hit the long ball, but he's a lot.
He lives in the mid-range.
He lives in the paint. He lives in the mid-range. He loves posting up guys. Like, he is a big. He plays. He's like almost like he has Halliburton size, but he doesn't.
You know what he is, bro? He's old school meets new school.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, he's still the top 3 point guard, especially with how loaded the point guard position is. He is that effective in leading his team, producing the stats, being a leader, just all around everything you want in a point guard.
Yep, clutch player of the year. And is, just an incredible, a superstar player and a great leader. I mean, Nick, you said it. I don't know if anyone could write this, for where he started as a 2nd round pick. At number 2, I've got his former teammate Luka Doncic at number 2.
Same.
I got Luka 1.
Yeah.
Nick.
Luka 1.
Nick.
What?
I think Luka's better.
What?
I don't have any argument other than the fact that I think Luka's better than Shaq.
Other than MVP, Finals MVP.
Dude, okay, by that rank, you should have 9-time All-Star Dame Lillard as number 1. Like, if you want to go off awards and also, like,
you have to come by. It's not mutually exclusive like that.
And
okay,
Shaq got all those awards in last season.
I don't care. I'm talking about right now.
This is as now as we can get is last season.
You just said last season. I'm talking. I think Luka was. I think Luka's better.
Okay.
I think that he could be better, but he still has to prove it. He still has to prove it. This is the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, hear me out. Dallas Mavericks finals run, Luka. Replace SGA last year with him, do they win in less than 7 games? I think they win in 5 or 6.
Wait, what? Wait, so what are you at? If the Thunder last year had 2024,
Yeah, I mean, okay, if Luka was on, yeah, if the Thunder last year had 2024 Luka or whatever, yeah,
Then
he's still the MVP. He's still the Finals MVP, and they probably win the Finals in less games. Is my argument.
That's a hypothetical thing that could have happened, but we're not ranking 2024 Luka. We're ranking 2025 Luka, and 2025 Luka is coming off of a pretty disappointing season, whether it was when he was wearing a Mavericks uniform or a Lakers uniform, and that's just what it is.
He may have disappointed, like, as a whole, but like, if you just take a snapshot of him in any given game out of context and compare it with like a play from, I'm picking Luka.
I personally disagree. I disagree because Shea, I mean, he's coming off MVP, Finals MVP scoring leader, leading one of the best teams that we have ever seen. Really,
and my thing is like Luka would have done all that if he was on the Thunder too.
I personally don't think so, because the things that we've talked about with the things that Nico Harrison has talked about with the reasons why he traded Luka, those things do still apply. Now, was it the right decision to trade him and the way that they did it? I don't think so. But like the things that we talked about with Luka in the Finals last season about him not giving effort defensively, being out of shape,
yeah,
those things still all apply. And I mean,
you guys know how I feel about Luka. I've been on this pod. Like, I ranked him super low at the top 20 players, top 25 players to start the year. Like, I don't even know if I had him on the list. Like, and I backed Nico and understood the trade perspective. Like, you don't want to put $200 million in a guy that you're not sure is going to be maintaining the right weight to be a physical, like, capable NBA player. But, I mean, when he's got the ball, he's just better than Shea. Like, that's it. That's it.
We didn't see it in the playoffs. We did.
Okay, whatever.
I didn't see it this year.
And this year. I mean, but so the rest of us have Shea at number 1, Luka at number 1 for Nick. I was close to making an argument for Brunson over Luka, even as well, but I wasn't going to go that crazy. I did my thing last year with putting Luka at. I think I put Shea. I think I had the same order. 1, Luka at 2, and I said last year I want him to prove that he is number 1. He still has to prove it, in my opinion.